What about now? Can you hear me? You guys hear me okay? Hope so. I'm just getting the reference photos organized so you'll be able to see them up here. The first one we'll do, cool. First one we'll do will be the boat shed. And we'll edit this fairly heavily. Well, no, I'll say that again. We'll edit it enough so that it's not confusing. I don't want to go to the iPad, you idiot. It's already there. Sorry, I'm a bit silly. I wanted to go to my Mac. There we go. Hey, he's going. What's going on? Sound good? Picture good? Well, picture's questionable, let's be honest. Okay, why is that photo taking so long to get to my computer? Yeah, do you know what the problem is with the sound, or was with the sound? I didn't have a microphone turned on. That old chestnut. It was a good one. Clever boy I am. Where is this picture? There it is. Airdrop. iMac. There we go. I love that you guys know each other and talk and excuse me. I did have someone yesterday comment on the other day or the other night's video, and I guess it must be weird to people looking back at this later on who didn't know it was live at the time, because all I'm doing is talking to myself, answering all it sounds like. I'm talking to myself, answering questions, because if they don't, then because they then can't go and look at the chat and all that stuff. So it's yeah, a weird thing. So I've never thought of that. And just coming across it going, this guy's a Fruit Loop. He's talking to himself. Okay, let's just do, I'll share this link on Facey again, and then we'll get cracking. We're on a bit of a time constraint today, just due to, I need to be done by about 12:30 at the latest. So we'll probably just have a little break between paintings to get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and a biscuit or something. Yeah, but yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool. I must say, I am absolutely loving my new palette. It is so good. The paints just haven't even begun to dry out. Not even close to drying out. It's unreal. Very cool. All right, getting there. I just had to get this stuff organised. I was less organised than I thought I was, and I'm usually pretty good. Sorry about that. Cracking the whip. Yeah, have to. So, yeah, just Kerry being there reminds me that I can announce it now. I was supposed to be up in Brisbane doing a three-day workshop in a couple of weeks, or the end of this month. But obviously I'm not, because our borders open on the 24th and the workshop was supposed to start on the 25th. So there's absolutely no chance I could have gotten there. But I am, however, now booked in for September. And if anyone's in Brizzy and wants to come along, it's a 3-day workshop. It's actually really good there. Brisbane Painting Classes, or BNRTE, I think they've changed their name. I'll be there 18th, 19th and 20th of September. Brisbane Painting Classes. Let me know if you want more details, and I'll put some stuff up. But yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, let's have a look at this little picture of ours today. Let's just... What's that? Did I have that there? Yeah. Let's delete that thing. Here we go. Sorry, peeps. Oh, there we go. Let's have a look bigger. Right, so this picture was taken yesterday afternoon down at Cornelian Bay here in Hobart. It's a beautiful spot, and there's a whole row of little boathouses that that you can't live in. I don't think you can live in. I don't think you can live in residential, but I think you can purchase them as a, I don't know, a shed or a little getaway or something. I don't know. But they're really cool. They're tiny, but they're just a really good spot. Overlooking on the river, overlooking the bridge and all the yachts and bloody blah. It's really nice. But the light was really cool yesterday afternoon, so I timed it really well because the what do you call it? The sun. That's the one. The sun disappeared probably 2 minutes after we walked away from this little area. I took heaps of photos, so there'll be other ones to go as well. But I thought we'd give this one a crack today or this morning, and we'll do the Venice one this afternoon. Should be cool. Oh, shush, Henry. Jeez. Henry's started to develop a personality, which sucks. I mean, the personality doesn't suck. It sucks that he's growing up. It's no good. Okay. Let's get cracking. So portrait and portrait both today. I've been painting so much in portrait orientation recently. Excuse the coffee drinking noises. There we go. Okay. So I'll put that there. That's fine. And yeah, it should be all right. I'll just move the camera around when I get over there so it's not so willy wonky. And yeah, how did you guys like the podcast? Have you listened to all 3 episodes yet? Thanks. Yeah, I think I think you'll find my presentation skills have improved even just from the first one. The first episode when I'm talking about limiting your palette kind of sounds like a weird therapy session or something. So the solo ones are going to be that kind of thing, just little nuggets. And the interviews are great. I can't wait for you to hear Herman's interview. It was really good. I was editing it together yesterday. It's good. Schnosh. And there's so many opportunities coming up. Well, opportunities to feature guests and things. So that's nice. So I'll just, while you can see my palette there, I'll just go through the colours I've got. I'm sort of back to my usual palette. I'm waiting on a couple of new colours to turn up from Schminky. But top left corner down is neutral tint, maroon brown, raw sienna, Indian yellow, and then back up the top we've got transparent orange, Bordeaux or alizarin, scarlet red, and then French ultramarine. And for some reason, oh no, that's right, I left that. So I've got French ultramarine, then I've got cobalt blue upwards, cobalt blue, and then mountain blue or cerulean, then turquoise. And I've got a spare, I think I'm going to have something there, I don't know what. And then they've got that purple, the brilliant blue violet, and then I've got a bit of jaune and a bit of lavender. So yeah, it's cool. It's good having a couple of spaces free to do some things. So It's cool. But anyway, finishing my coffee. Okay, so I'm going over to the camera. Yeah, I'll just fix the wonkiness up a little bit there. That's all right. That'll do. Get the picture. Pardon the pun. All right. So one thing doing. Earth. All right. So this picture. It's a nice one. Nice one. I'm definitely changing the color of the building because there's just too much blue there anyway. But compositionally, it's pretty cool. I'm going to go for that, but there are a couple of things I want to muck around with. I'm just going to map over. There we go. Yeah. About there. Roughly. I'm not getting the ruler out for this one. Just getting the big shapes, angle dangles going. Just really lightly. Now, that little bit that you can see, that's the clear plastic, looks like some sort of screen. Kind of going to get rid of it. It's ugly, not necessary. Just kind of going to get everything in its place first. Look at the shape of the top of the boat, about there. Always just check your angles. Alright, so I'm happy with where that is. One thing I've sort of realised with doing these online things is that no one really asks many questions. So I want to change that. If you've got anything to ask or add or contribute, please do. Please do. I'd love it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, so everything's kind of where I want it. It's good. Bring that awning. Okay, so perspective-wise, you've got to imagine that there's things doing all of that. So imagine that this is coming to a point. all these little lines have got to point toward that point. And it's sort of, yeah, it's important to get it right. If you don't get it right, it'll come back and bite you on the ass. I'll just make that a bit, yeah, that's better. All those things are good. Yeah. And they'll come down there, that's fine. Okay, cool. It's a good composition. I like this. This will be nice to paint. Good fun. Do a bit of detail in the boat. Not much. I still want it to be an impression. I don't want massive amounts of detail, surprisingly enough, as you details for the weak. Details for the fastidious. Alright, cool. Yeah, happy there. Okay, so just tidy up the drawing a little bit. There's nothing really much to do. Don't even know why I bother doing that most of the time. That's okay. So I'll give you guys a second. Actually, there is one bit that I'll do. I'll rub out that. Careful not to do this. Whenever you're rubbing out on your page, and I've done it quite a few times, and it sucks when you do it because there's no way around fixing it. Careful when you rub stuff out not to sweep your eraser debris into your palette. I know, silly, right? Too busy painting. That's right. Good. Excuse me. That should be cool. My vision for it is almost the same as what's there as far as the tone goes. I'm going to push the distance back a little bit. Not heaps though. Yeah, I'm just not doing the building blue. I don't know what color I'll do it yet. Probably just a muted, I don't know, brown or something complementary, because it's a very cool picture. You need to have some kind of yin and yang in there. Now, what I'll do, carrying a bucket of something, I don't know, some kind of figure walking along, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And just indicates something. just with that sort of stuff, when you want something there, just go loose as you can. That's the go. All right, so big wash. What my thought is here, big blue wash at the moment. Well, I might cut around this and cut around a little bit of the boat or whatever, but yeah, big blue wash. And while I'm taking note of leaving some clouds and yeah, we'll just paint and see how we go. Just some, well, it's not really clean anymore, just some water. And we'll get some cobalt blue. We need a nice royal blue. Yeah, I'll do. Oh shit, I just realised you can't see the top of what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. Dickhead. Sorry about that. So that's coming down, forming some cloud shapes already, which is nice. Lovely. And just a bit of water and a bit of grey. I'll just, you know, mop up that. That's cool. Happy with that. That's nice. Now we'll start this dirty wash here with a bit of warmth. It's pretty subdued warmth. It's like I've got the orange there, but it's dirty. I'm not, I don't want anything real clean here, because the rest of it will be quite clean. So back into that blue, and now I'm just washing over everything at the moment. I'm not worrying about cutting around the jetty or anything like that. I just want a nice clean wash downwards. Bit of purple. I've never heard anyone. Just get this is your chance to get some depth in that water out the back. And it becomes quite dark down here. What I'm going to do is wash over everything. I'm not even going to cut around the boat, because I want the wash on the water to be very nice. And if I cut around the boat, it just won't happen. So aside from the ones that you guys mentioned when I asked the other week, have you got any, I know you're painting, sorry, I shouldn't ask questions, but have you got any other suggestions for guests on the podcast? Working on Alvaro at the moment. Anna Maria, his wife's really, really nice, so hopefully, and she sort of looks after his stuff, so hopefully we'll be able to get Alvaro. Now I'm going down quite dark here because it will lighten up a lot because there's a lot of water present, but I want it to be quite strong at the front. Let's just throw a little bit of burnt sienna in there as well. Ah. Stupid bottle, I need a new spray bottle. Nope. Just picking up a tiny bit of stuff here to feather that up a little bit. It's not even really doing much. Cool. Now, as it starts to dry off a bit, I'll let it dry off for a second, but I'm just going to bring some of that white back in the jetty. It won't, heaps of it won't come up, and that's fine. I don't care about that. Just want to get a little bit of it if I can. Kind of like the same thing we do with roads, in a country vista sort of scene. And wash them out. You can even wash that out a bit if you want to. I don't care. It's all in the shade anyway. That's fine. So, getting a bit thicker paint here. Not going back into any water. But I want a thicker colour, just because we're thicker and darker than what's there. And just going in with a few ripples. These will fade off to bugger all, but they'll give us a bit more depth when it comes time. And I mean, obviously this water at the front here is shallow as, I mean, it's 6 inches deep, but that's all right. It needs some kind of semblance of movement there. It's nice. You can't do much else to that until it's dry. So I'll give you guys a second. Get to that kind of point and we should be good. You can always sort of blot out a few cloud shapes or whatever if you wanted to. Just be subtle. Cool. Yeah, I've been talking to Tom Shaler, Diana. He seems keen, so should be good. And Tim Wilmot would be nice as well. I like Tim's stuff. I do fall asleep watching his tutorials though, because he's just got that voice, that very calm, very soothing voice. He should have been a therapist. No danger of that for me here. Rough as guts over this way. Okay. So, it's hairdryer time, I'm afraid. It's about to get noisy and stupid in here. Excuse me. Why can't I? Yeah, there we go, it's better. Thinking about my baby, All right. Excuse me. I've never heard that word, Diana. What does that mean? I consider myself someone with a semi-decent vocabulary, but what the hell is that? Soporific. Or was it supposed to be superific and it was a word you were making up? I don't know. It's a good one. I like it. Okie dokie. Let's get the trees in, shall we? Alright, still just back into the same stuff. Greys, that's what we're after. I'm going to mix a bit of Jaune in there because I've got it, but just a grey. Yeah, that's cool. Don't want it to be too far away though. Still want it to be, you know, close-ish, but I don't want it to be as strong as it is in the reference itself. And cool colours because they recede. It's always the go. Drop a few things in. Oh, that's a bit stupid. Anyway, you get that. Yeah, I don't want any very, very pretty trees, aren't they? Soften them up a little bit here and there, not all the way along. Yeah, it's cool. Do that. Nice, that's okay. All right, so what I'm looking for now is the immediate kind of reflection of that, which is same color really, tiny bit lighter here and there, but very similar. And keep that, excuse me, sorry about this. I'm just going to turn the mic off for a second. Sorry. Yeah, just be careful to leave that white line. See, there's a white line. It's kind of a bit of a reflection anyway. It's cool. And just getting a few little reflection marks in there, so that's nice. And I'll just feather that down a bit so it blends in. Yeah. Don't lose it all, dickhead. Don't lose it all. All right, so happy with that. That's cool. That will be fine and dandy. Now, same story again, bit of water. So I don't care so much about this stuff because it's so light. So once the darks go in, you won't even notice that's been painted around or over. But that's cool, all good. All right, take care of this shape. Let's do it. Let's mix a color. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, why not? Let's do that one. That's too small a brush. So yeah, whenever you do have big patches of solid colour, just break them up a bit, leave a bit of white here and there. Gives them a bit more movement, a bit more character. Don't colour them in all solid and ugly. Just be artistic, dare I say. Grab a bigger colour. Remember, these are right on the lake, so we don't want to worry about pretty here. We never really want to worry about pretty anyway. I've made my life not worrying about pretty. It's good. Yep. That'll work. That bit of bleeding there is cool. I like it. I like it. Now, while this is all still wet, I'm going to go in there with a darker colour for the roof line, or for the roof. Darker, thicker paint, and a bit dry brushy here and there. Bit of character. Don't make it all perfect. Perfect is boring. Okay, we want, just because it's not there, I want something to connect us to the sky a bit. So I'm just going to put a little chimney of some description there. There's a light hitting us on that side. Yeah. Just let it bleed. All right, that's cool. Happy with that. One thing I will do is put a tiny bit of blue in there because it's going to reflect the sky. And we'll go dark for the rest of it. Yep, happy with that. Good. Watercolor. Let it be a watercolor, people. Remember that. Don't force it. Far out. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Happy. Good. Gotta dry it off. Actually, there's a bit too much of that stuff. Let's just put a few little bits. Why not? Cool. Awesome. There we go. Just noticed there's a few birds in the sky already. Get rid of a couple of them if we can. That's all right. Oh, something's annoying me. I'm just having to think to myself for a moment. What I want to do, just while this is wet here, I want to get some thick, dark paint. Just want that to bleed in a bit. I don't care about the rest of it so much. I just wanted that little bit of bleeding there, but the rest of it will be fine. Just wanted that bleeding. That's cool. Oop. Alright, cool. Yep. Alright. Soporific. Love it. That's going in the vocab for sure. Love it. It's beautiful. All right. Motoring along. That's good. Awesome stuff. Okay, well, we can start doing the pier and the jetty and stuff. Why not? We've got this dark colour here already, so let's get into it. So have a look at the little pylons on either side of the jetty. They're pretty dark. So I kind of don't really want to paint the jetty so much as I want to paint the stuff around it. So I want it to be a bit negative. Don't get too bogged down in it. Superficiality. So even if you squint your eyes, even just painting that kind of stuff there, it makes a difference already. And there's our little abstracty stop. What we can do, let's just put a couple of horizontal. Cool. We can do our little fisherman, why not? Give him a red hat. Ah. Oh. Careful, dickhead. Looks a bit funky, that's okay. So he's got a raincoat on. That's all right. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Awesome. Shadow. Why not? Cool. So the jetty's kind of done. It'll make more sense in a second though. So what we need to do, we sort of need to do this stuff, yeah, before the boat. Okay. Mix yourself up. Nice dark paint. If you look at that reflection, it's very dark. But don't make it black. Just mix a blue and a burnt sienna and a bit of orange or something. Now we're going to have to use a bit of foresight here because we're going to connect these shapes to the reflection of the boat. So if we, well, you see how everything's, it's not all mixed on the, in the palette, it's just marbled. Make sure you're doing that a lot. So nice thick paint along here. Just put a bit of orange. That's not our reflection, don't worry. What will be our reflection is a blue glaze. Not that pretty. And we want it to pick up, oh, wrong brush, and we want it to pick up the thick paint and bleed and spread around for us. We want that there to be a bit stronger. See how it's all bleeding in and blending in? That's what we're after. You'll see it a bit more here. You can sort of see it coming to life now. It's blending in, softening up. That's what we're after. See, and it all makes sense when you look at it. It's all making perfect sense to do what it's doing. So it's nice. Oh, you idiot! Except for me doing that, because that's just silly. Oh, Henry. No. Cool. All good. Happy there. We'll get onto the boat in a minute. Just tidy that shape up there. That's good. What? Bring that up. Bloody hell, Henry. He's a bit of a drama queen at the moment. He's starting to give Sydney some grief, talking back and fighting over toys and all that. It's good. She's starting to get her comeuppance. Oh, good. All right. So, just letting that be a watercolor for a second. Run around. Cool. It's weird, I don't usually paint like this as far as cutting around things like that. It looks funny. Object waiting to go in. But, you know, it's cool. Make sure if you can, if it's not too late already, try and leave some light shining through here. Just gives it a bit more depth. But also make sure that, what was I going to say? I mean, worse, if it is sort of too late, you can try and scrape a bit out as well. Might work. Kind of thing. But I'm going to now get the hairdryer going. Please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Adele. Yeah. Go. Hey Vic, do you still want my old palette? Just flick me your address in a message if you do, and we'll organise something. I'll send it to you all preloaded with whatever was already in there. There you go. Okay, so just letting that cool down a bit. We'll start on the boat. Awesome, no worries, just let me know. Okay, so boat. Well, give you a second, but looking at the boat, yeah, we'll do it like that. Yeah. Do it like that. Do want to kind of soften everything here. It's good. Yeah, right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Now, just with a whatever mixture, grey or something, I'm just going to paint this underside. So this is kind of, you know, mid-tone. When you're talking the boat, this is the mid-tone. Yeah, like I said to you, Vic, that palette might be worth like tens of dollars one day. All right, I'm kind of colouring that in, so to speak, for a reason. Specific reason. Don't know what that is yet, but nah, just checking. And we'll go around this way as well. Just kind of looking at the tones in the boat. Just want to get them. want to get them roughly right, because it's got to make sense, and because it's, you know, pretty much the focal point, I suppose, you know, we'll make it that way. We want it to be pretty right. Now just here, I'm going to blend that a bit darker. Yeah, that'll do. That'll be working. That was just a little bit of darker paint that I picked up, and I'm just blending that in to this edge here, so it's gives us a bit of depth without really having to do too much. And I will bring them up to the edges of those seats. And then we'll start mucking around with it in a second. But we're kind of painting negatively. We just want to leave the spots, leave this edge of the boat. It's dark in there. Dark down there. All right, what we're going to do now, just with some darker colour, just because this is dried off a little bit down here, I want to kind of establish the edge of it, and it will hopefully start bleeding up a bit. I might have let it dry a teensy bit too long. That's okay. It'll work. That's not working there. It needs to be a bit stronger. A bit shaky this morning. It's weird. Shaky dakey. That's no good. All right. So this side of the boat, I'm not going to touch, except for when I put the calligraphy on later on. We need to establish the depth there. You'll know what I mean in a sec. Here. A difference in colour and tone for the seats. That bang was the dog on the door. Basil trying to get in. He's a dickhead. Complete dickhead, that dog. He's getting old now, poor boy. It's a bit too neat and tidy. Let's just kind of establishing a few little marks that'll give us some depth. Just sort of experiment a bit, you know. Have it muck around. There's a seat there. Yeah, that's looking alright. Bit wonky, but once the highlights and things go on, should be pretty nice. And ultimately, we don't want things to be neat and tidy. So what we do want is a reflection. So straight into this dark, put some more water. I'm going to go in with some lavender. So it's going to make a nice grey. And then in with some turquoise. So it's opaque-ish, but there's so much water there that'll still nice. It's not just chalky and horrible. But all while this is wet, you've got to do it while it's wet, otherwise you just won't get the nice sort of look to any of it. You've got to just get stuck into it. And that has to go around there. Gotcha. Go. Now, dark. Now we go the dark. Oh, for God's sake. Told you I'm a bit shaky this morning. Jesus. Not a real nice curve, that one. That's okay, it's better. And that'll be about there. Trying to make it all connect in. It's one of those ones where it kind of, at this point, I'm just going to splash a bit on it to give it a bit of watercolor life. Now it's going to let the boat do its thing for a second. I'm going to invent some shadows. Okay, so ultimately we're almost there. We need to put a few little bits and bobs on, but I want a nice shadow. I want to create a shadow, invent it. So in reality, there is another building right there. So right at the edge of this. So I'm going to pretend that's casting a shadow onto this side. So yeah, why not? It's our picture. You can do what you want. Do what you like. Let's go. Same kind of color, I reckon, with that thing. Now, shadows. When you do it like this, these sort of cast shadows, and I'll show you something that'll bring it to life in a second. But you need a wash sort of color. Need it to be strong enough, but if it's washy, there'll be enough water in it that it'll dry off later, so that's cool. We need quick, clean strokes though. So just gonna pretend that coming down here. Actually, I'll stop in a second too, so you can, because I need to go to the Lulu, but so you can catch up. And, all right, just about that. There'll be something that'll make a hell of a difference to this soon, which I'll show you, which you'll see. Okay, yeah, he's got a shadow there already. He's all right. Cool. If anything, that might be a bit heavy. Okay, cool. I'm going to take the mic off for a second, and I'll be back in a moment. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep catching up, and we'll be right. Sweet. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay, we're back. Yeah. Just noticed something here that I want to sort out. Or take advantage of, not really sort out. It's just a bit of dark paint, thicker paint. While this is all doing its thing, I'm just going to re-establish a little bit of that base of the boat there. A little bit. Oh, and bring it around there. And cut that in there a bit darker. Blend it out. Cool. Nice. Cool. All right. So it is at this point that I need to basically dry it off, and we start putting our bits and bobs on. How you guys going? Do you want some more time at this step? If you are ready to go, just dry it off. We'll see how we're going. Come on. All right, so I've just got an email back from Brienne Brown, American watercolorist. She does really nice work. Cool. Organising an interview. Good stuff. All right. All right, what I'll do you know what, Kerry? That's a really good idea. I'll let this dry. If you are sort of at this point anyway, that's cool. And just let it dry for a while. I will go and make another coffee, and we should be right. Make another coffee now, and then once we've done this picture, we'll have another 15 break, and we can have a biscuit or a scone or something, whatever you've got handy, and we'll be right. So does that sound good from everyone? Just give me a thumbs up or a no probs or something like that if that's all good. Like, I'm just talking 10 minutes to go and make a coffee now, like 5 minutes even. No, I'll show them what one, so it'll have to be 10. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Vic. Good stuff. Thank you. Excellent. All right, so stay there. I'll just get rid of the mic again, and I'll leave all this up, obviously. I'm just looking at it. The boat will come to life once we start putting some shadows. At the moment, it's all a bit, washy. This is the point where we don't want to leave it. We don't want. A lot of people would just leave that sit there and think, yep, boat's done, cool, because it's got a couple of shadows, but it just doesn't have enough there yet. So I'm looking forward to that coming to life and putting a few more brush strokes in the water. Yeah, it's looking good. I like it. Cool. I will. No, I bet it's not, but it's cool. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it looking like mine or anything. We're just painting and learning different stuff as we go. It's unreal. Thanks for being here, Kate. I'll see you guys very soon. I'll just come back with a coffee, so it won't be long. Won't be long. We're back. That's better. This is better. Feel better. How's it all going? You ready to dry off and head on to the next step? Too bad if you're not, because I'm going to anyway. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to leave my coffee here because I will put my brush in it. Excuse me. It's just what happens. Okay, so I need to dry it off anyway. It's got to be 100% dry for the next bits. Okay, cool. Here we go. All right, so some bits to finish up. First thing I'm going to do, at this point, what you want to do is you want to think, is there anything think of viscosity of paint. So we don't want to go in now with, say for example, and I'm not going to, but say for example, well, no, we will. We'll put some sort of thicker paint on the edges of the boats and just to define things, whatever. You don't want to do that first if you then plan to come over here with some washy brush strokes, because it's just going to mess it up and you'll lose the effect. So you got to think that thickness. So going in with washy stuff first, because I do, it's the only thing I want to do that's washy is put a few more definite brush strokes here in the water surface. That's all. Not much, but I want it there. So it's a bit more defined. Purple and blue is good. Yeah, it's not bad. Couple of brush strokes. Feather it out. Nice. Cool. Happy with that. See what I mean? If you were to do that and then, after you've done the thick stuff, it just, ruins everything. But one thing we need to do now is dry it off. Just this won't take a sec. Alright, cool, that'll be fine. Alrighty, so dry brush. Let's finish this building up. We want some thicker stuff, of course. Thicker, darker, and we should be right. So that's what I want to do. I want to sort of create, I don't really want to do that pattern of stuff that's there, the little beading and things on the outside of the wall. Just want to kind of maybe just follow some palings down, you know, weatherboard type situation. Get them roughly in the right spot will help, and have them feather, well, not feather out, but fan out to that correct vanishing point. Then we can come over and do, you know, whatever, if there's anything there you want to muck around with. Don't do too much of it, but what we want to do here, I just want to establish those window lines a bit better. It's a bit better, it's nicer. Cool. Nice. Happy with that. Okay. That bit's done. Just having a look to see what else needs little bits. Yeah. Let's go up here. Might as well put some birds in now. That's all a bit, looks a bit too much like a pattern. Okay. Right, cool, that's good. I don't know what these are. I think they're bits that boats tie up to, or lights or some shit. That's okay. A bit of rope or something. That's cool. Happy there. I reckon. Alright. Any dark bits we want to put on the boat itself, which there is. Rouseabout, I like that name. It's a good name for a boat. It's probably pretty common. But cool, happy with that. Thick paint, I'm just looking for bits of dark here at the moment. I'll put the highlights on in a second. Now there'll be some rope or something being tied here. We'll just make it up, why not? But we'll put some light stuff on in a sec. It's not dark enough here. It's getting to me. I didn't want to fix it, but I think I need to. It's just not cutting around that enough. You may not need it, so don't. This is where you're using my stuff as a guide and I'm sharing my thoughts, but You got to let your own painting talk to you. Just sharing with you the things that I'm thinking in order to make it work. Hopefully you don't need to. Hopefully you're all good, but it's okay. It's annoying because I want it to stand out, but I don't want the edge to be perfect, and it's just that bit of balance. So I'm going to go quite thick around the base there. And I'm going to splash a little bit so it runs, and let's get into that. There you go, that'll be alright. That'll be alright. So I don't want it to look static, I want it to still look like a watercolour. No, that's cool, that's heaps better already. Cool. So still just looking for dark bits. We want to establish. Careful not to outline things. Just for a bit of scale, I'm just going to make up a little lamp post here. I'll do. Now, I want to mix up an opaque colour. So I'm starting with some jaune or white, whatever you want. This is you doing your stuff, you know. Bit of lavender. Be quite opaque because I'm going to use it as sort of highlights around the place. I like it on that bit, it's just bleeding in, that'll be nice. Yeah, cool, I like that colour. A little opaque green, turquoisey thing. Get into it. It's just stuff, why not? Couple of little strokes, give it some life. Bit in there. Why not? I like that colour. Might need to get a tube of that. I don't know if it exists, but it's sort of creamy turquoise, I suppose. I like it. It's a good accent colour. There you go. We discovered something together today. Awesome. There's definitely red missing. Has to be there. It's the right sort of scene for it. Just something. Couple of dots, whatever. And need some little ropey dopes. That's cool. And it is now time for some white gouache. It's time, motherfuckers. Just said that, didn't I? Wow. Gonna upset someone. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't upsetting someone, let's be fair. Couple of lights. Do. Oh, shut up, whoever's doing that. Cool, happy there. Yeah, happy. It's nice. Don't need anything else, I don't think. Maybe just tiny bits of light on the top of the little pylons or something. Yeah, whenever you start looking for things to do, that's a decent indication that you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah, happy there. There's one. This will catch the light a bit. That needs to be thicker. Laughing. I like this. I like this painting. Anyone can buy it off me for $100,000 million. But no, everything's for sale. Let's just dry it off and I'll do the usual unveiling. Ah, coffee. I forgot to drink my coffee. I can't stand warm coffee. It's gotta be like as it gets warm. I don't want it to. You got to be able to drink it straight away. So none of this stupid boiling water. Have to wait a half an hour before you can touch it. Rubbish that people go on with. But I hate it when it goes beyond that and gets too cold. I think it's hilarious when people go in. Oh, I love my coffee. Oh, can you make it extra hot, please? Oh, shit. If you don't love coffee, you'll love Nescafe Blend 33. Right, I'm going to firstly put my iPad onto charge because I will need that. We'll need that. Okay, cool. Let's get this going. I reckon it's alright. I reckon that's alright. Oh. What is that noise and why do they keep doing it? I know it'll be one of the offspring. Sheridan's just stop. I'll just turn that light around, see if that helps things. Okay, that's good. That's cool. Don't care about the recording here, Cam. Good stuff. How's all going? I kind of like it. I'll get rid of that. I like this painting. Once again, the good old lighting's a bit funky in here, but I'm looking forward to taking a photo of this later on once it settles down. I like the sort of hazy and the dark, and I dig it. Okay. All right. Bit more jewelry. Famous last words. Do is, let's have a squeeze at that. Nice, that's good. Yeah, this is a good scene. I wouldn't mind painting a bigger version of this. I like it. I like I'm happy with the way I decided to approach the jetty. Rather than paint the jetty, paint the pylons and the shadows and the reflections. I think that works really nicely. Even though the water surface itself is a little bit overworked, I think it's all so transparent that it still works. What is that noise? It's driving me crazy. Can you hear it? Can you hear it there? Anyway. Cool. All right. What I'll do, I'll leave this sitting here. So do what you like. That's not a problem. What I'm going to do is go and just have a little bit to eat. It's 20 to 11. Let's come back here in 20 minutes, eh? So about 11 o'clock. And we'll get stuck into this Venice one. Don't be scared of the Venice one. There's a little bit more drawing and things involved in it, of course. But the way we paint it, it's all kind of, the reason I picked these two subjects is they're both very similar in their perspectives in the building and stuff. So to sort of an extension of this scene. So don't freak out. But I will see you guys back here in about 20 minutes, but I'll leave this on the screen for you. Thank you. Microphone going off now. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye. 20 minutes, 11 o'clock-ish, about there. Take your time, I just got to get some paper going. I'm running out of Saunders. I've got only 2 sheets left. That sucks. So more is on its way. Still have a whole bunch of Baohong. I might start using that again. I only ever do quarter sheets on these demos because it's what fits in the camera feed the best. I'd have to really change up the angles and stuff. I enjoy painting bigger pieces more. What's up, darling? Hang on. All right. There you go. I love you, darling. Love you. All right. Enjoy that. Shut the door on the way out, babe. Thank you. Yeah, I probably these days enjoy painting half sheets. Probably the best. But yeah, you can just let fly with it a bit more. But it's all good. There we go. It's cool. Oh, shush, Henry. Jesus. What you're working with. Oh, that's shit and good all at the same time, Kerry. That's good. Hopefully these have helped in some way, you know. But good thing is you'll be able to do them anytime you want because they're always on YouTube. That's good. Yeah, it's weird. So the month, like I'll go from doing nothing in person for months to September. I've got three weekends in a row of workshops. It's crazy. So I've got up in Newcastle, Hunter Valley on the I think it's the weekend of the 5th and 6th, and then the following 12th and 13th. So we're going on a bit of a family holiday up there, which is good for that time. We'll catch up with friends, a couple of relatives, no doubt. And then I come home on the Monday, the 14th, I think, Monday the 14th of September. Home then on a Monday, and fly up to Brizzy for a few days on the Thursday. So all happening that month. Then I don't think there's much in October, and then I'm in Leeton, New South Wales in November, I think, yeah. So hopefully everything goes all right. Should be good. COVID safe plan. God, I hope we don't live like this for very long. stifling, isn't it? Necessary, but stifling. Remember a couple of weeks ago that nut job called me a racist prick? Well, it turns out she is an absolute nut job. I stayed friends with her on Facebook for a little while, but I've banned her now. She didn't excuse me. She didn't say anything else to me. But she's one of these people who just all her posts, she believes in all chemtrails, and the 5G mobile network is what's making us all sick. And oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you're an idiot. Spewing that I didn't spewing that I let her get to me so much on that day. Oh man, what a Fruit Loop. You talking to me there, Vic, about minimum number of pupils? Okay. That's all good. We're good there. That's fine. I don't know. It really just depends. So, I mean, usually, I'm for sale basically, but different art societies and things are different. So as long as they cover some are for profit, some some are for profit, some not. But yeah, it depends what they charge. But as long as they cover my fee, just depends. It doesn't matter if there's 1 or 2 people or 12. Usually the ideal, for me personally, the ideal number in a workshop is between 8 and 12. Any more than 12, I've done workshops with like 22 people, 22 students, and you feel like you're shortchanging everyone because you just can't get around to people properly. But yeah, anything really. I mean, 8 is good, 6 is good. Hell, 4 is even better. 1-on-1 is good too. It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I don't. Yeah, toy with a thought. That's good. I'm happy to do anything. All right, here we go. All right, let's start on this Venice. I'll just bring that image up. Won't be a second. Venezia, there it is. Let's go there. So, this picture, like I was saying before, you can kind of see that obviously it's a different scene, totally different scene. However, do you notice that the perspective lines and everything are it's the same kind of principles that we're following, that L-shaped composition. Obviously there's a bit more intricacy and stuff here and there in this one, but still kind of approach it in the same sort of simplistic way. I've done a scene very similar to this. It's kind of from a point of view of being a bit closer to that building. I can't remember what that building is called. Looking over, but yeah, there's just so much cool stuff here. So we're going to treat it the same way as we did the painting that we've just done. Okay, so have you guys got all your paper ready? You're all taped up, ready to start drawing? Because I'll walk through the drawing with you. Look at my shiny head. Came out of the bathroom the other day having done this, and Sydney goes, ooh, look at that. Cool. All right, ready to rock? Okay. I'm not crook, by the way. I just had a sneezing fit when I finished eating my brunch. Let's get rid of that. And we'll make this the right size for the thing. There we go. Excellent. All right, I'll head over and start drawing and see how we can stuff this one up or make it good. No, that's not the attitude, dickhead. Make it a good picture. That was myself I'm talking to there, by the way. There we go. Just like that. Just bringing up my iPad because that is what I'm looking at as far as the picture goes. That's not it. Excuse me. Okay. Let's have a look. We established big shapes first, so same procedure or process applies. You know, it's never really going to change that much. The procedure. I keep saying procedure, I mean process. It's never going to change too much from the way I normally do it. It's just big shapes, find your horizon. This is a big L-shaped composition, so just find that horizon line which we want about there. Need to be pretty straight. Roughly, there we go. In the building, a bit less than halfway across. About there. Alright, big shapes, drawing done. I wish. Alright, so angles, pretty subtle here along the ground. Gotta keep them subtle. Here we're just looking at the different, I'll show you on this. I can sort of point to it a bit. What we're looking at here is these angles. So just those steps. So that step, that step, that step. And see how it's fanning around. So that's that. First step is about there, about a bit lower actually. About there. That could be the railing. I'm putting together a collection of John Singer Sargent's watercolors. When I say putting together a collection, that makes it sound more impressive. And what I'm really doing is just Googling and going, holy shit, that's good. I love his work, always have, but just got to revisit it every now and then. It's just incredible. And once I've got a whole bunch of pictures, I'll share them. Just show you what I mean. It's his simplicity and his ability just to get things done in one go without touching it, again, is just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling, I tells you. Alright, so let's go here. Let's get rough. I'm being a bit too literal. I just want to loosen up a bit here. Let's get the rough. Yeah. 2 is good. And I like having just a couple of these things, the arches here, because it gives us room to sort of play with the stuff that's in the back, like the darker things. That's good. Yeah. And all you got to do when you're doing that dark stuff is that's the arch there. We're kind of moving it a bit and doing a bit of artistic license, but all you do is just go up there and you go, well, where's it going to come down? It's going to come down about there, and it's going to, you know, come down about there, you know. So you've got, you know, a few little bits. We can rub out the lines we don't need there. So that one. That'll be that. And we can start just doing some circles. Doesn't matter how many we get in. We're not architects. That's how simply you kind of have to treat it. If you don't treat it that simply, you will lose every time, unless you want a perfect rendering, which I certainly don't. It's boring. This photo already exists. It's beautiful. Let's react to it. Have a reaction. My initial reaction is, holy shit, why'd I pick this one? That was my initial reaction. But no, it's fine. It'll be good. What is life if not full of challenges, eh? There we go. They're up. The circles are up the top. That's just to give us a guide. We'll paint those in a bit nicer. And we'll do some stuff in the back as well. Cool. That's that. Here's a little arched window. Let's go up there. And the patterns and stuff in the tile work here, like up the top of the building, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Need to go about there, about there, about there. Need to make that a bit thinner, Cool. So just to remind ourselves, we're going to do some nice... We want that sort of damp look. I don't really necessarily need to even make it a wet day or anything like that, but we just want a bit of a damp sort of look to it. Some lovebirds walking along, Venice. Yeah. Now that there is the wharf close to us, and we also have the distance that we can embellish, whatever. Buildings. Blah, 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 blah. Now we have some lights. There's 4 on each of these, I remember from painting it before. I'm not worried about getting the positions of them 100% right. I'm just worried about the scale. Just make sure it makes sense. You don't want it too big or too small. You want the scale to fit the scene. That's the important part of what we're doing here. And obviously these are going downwards. So that's the top there. From here we'd probably just see 3 of them. 8 something, whatever. And I might do I want to get another figure? I don't want to put the people in there with their tripods taking photos. I don't want those in. But what a bigger. I think I want another figure, maybe walking away a bit. And we'll do some smaller stuff. Cool. Rocking. And I did notice, and I'm sure you guys did as well, there is one single bird in this picture. That's quite prominent. Oh yeah, of course, Kerry, absolutely. It's way off. Vanishing point's over to the, it's probably two. If it was another page next to it, it'd probably be 3/4 of the way across that page. Somewhere there. Yep, for sure. All right. So I'll just give you guys a second to draw some of that up. Just let me know if, I just need to fix that. That's clumsy as anything. That's clumsy, I think. Or is it? Yeah, I know why it looks wrong. Just felt wrong because I brought that all the way down to the same level. That's why. That's better. Now, I mean, I had that on dumbing down to there. Shall I mean? You can do the best Jason Statham impression in the world by just saying 6 words. And it's 2 syllables, 6 words. And it's, do you know what I mean? And it's, do you mean? Do you mean? That's Jason Statham right there. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Candle's encroaching. It's not even on. It's fine. It's annoying me. All right. So, are you guys ready to rock, or do you want a little bit more time? It's all cool. Little bit more. Okay, cool. That's fine. No problemo. Oh, good. It's good, good, good. So, yeah, needless to say, in come September, there won't be as many workshop opportunities or any. What's up, darling?
We just go on an adventure.
No, yeah, it's cool. You got to get out. I'm doing some work here, babe. Thanks, kiddos. Come on. Out. Get out! Get out, you crazy kids. Go on. Henry. Might be long. You're right. Oh, crazy boy. Yeah, there won't be much opportunity to do the workshops like online here like this in that month. Yeah, hopefully we'll get something done for sure. Maybe I could do a couple of extras the week before I go or something. And yeah, it should be cool. But no, it should be good. Should be good. Should be good. All right, so we got. Now, just like, while I'm sitting here, thank you very much for all your generosity in leaving me tips and buying me a beer and a coffee and all that. That's great. I really appreciate it. Please share it with your mates and get everyone on board. And podcast, the Facebook page, this page. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do. I'm pretty sure you probably already have, all of you guys. But I really appreciate everything you do for me to help me out. Keeps us going. I can't believe that I'm about to dirty up the virginal palette wells. I've kept two of them nice and clean. It's amazing. I love it. And I do have a Patreon page. I'm not sure about it yet. I need to figure some stuff out. I haven't been pushing it. It will end up being a good thing. I just need to tweak it and do some more work on it. It's just, yeah, a bit of a weird one. All right. So I'm going to change a couple of things up with the sky. Actually going to go the other way around. That's all right. No stress, Vic. You don't need to worry about it. It's just there as another option for me, sort of with the podcast and things, and gives me an opportunity to give back as well. A certain subscription thing. It's cool. I just got to tweak it. If you guys are actually on that with the Patreon, I don't know if you guys are aware of how it works, but it's like Henry shush. But the way it works is you subscribe for a certain amount of money every month, whether it be $5, $10, 20, whatever you agree to, and each of them has different benefits. Some, $5 is just a thank you very much. Awesome. Thanks for support. With each tier you get different things. I'm thinking like critiques and certain tiers you get a one-off print of a demonstration of your choice, all that kind of stuff. So if you've got any ideas of something that I could offer as whether it be on a monthly basis or a one-off basis for different things, let me know, because that's what I'm sitting there struggling coming up with things. It's not like I can put out more content. I'm sort of flat out doing what I'm doing, and I love every second of it, but I can't really give bonus episodes and bonus demos and stuff. But yeah, if you've got any ideas of what would be cool, let me know. But anyway, are we ready to rock on the painting? All right, it's got about an hour and 15 minutes-ish on this one. Got to be done by 1:45 at the latest. And it's currently 11:30. which should be plenty of time. We'll shoot it in. Plenty of time. All right, let's do it. Color scheme wise, I kind of like it. I like the reference. I'm toying with the idea of just flipping the script on the pink and the blue in the sky and having it darker at the horizon. So yes, let's do that. Yeah, righto, cool. Why not? You only live once. Might as well make a meal of it. Yeah, all right, let's do it that way. That way's good. All right, I'm going back into whatever colour is left over from the water this morning. It's going straight across the horizon where the buildings are sitting, across the other side of the canal. All right. Yeah, I want to get a few little darks in. I don't care about going over the building. It's all part of the deal. It's all part of this deal of mine in this one. Cool. Keep your brush moving quickly though. You don't want to end up with any horrible edges. What I will do now is turn it upside down. And I need a bit of a alizarin here. Whoa, that's very strong. Always freaks me out how strong alizarin is. Like Rocky Balboa of the paint world. I'm going to go into a bit of the transparent orange. There we go. Soiled. Raw sienna, I think. Oh, shut up, Henry. My God, he's becoming whingy. Little turd burger. All right, and we'll make it quite rough and ready about there. This sky is very pretty, I know. At the moment it is. I will make it a bit nicer in a minute. Just going back in this darker blue here. Because it's facing this way, it's coming down. It's all good. It's just going to give us some more room to move. A bit of purple in that. Why not? Look at that. Stupid. Good. That's what we're after. Now I'm just going to let that down for a second. I just want to let it run down a little bit to start the process. That's the kind of vibe I'm after with that. I don't want it any other way. I want that strength, and I wanted to muck around with it in order to eventually make these lights pop out a bit more. You know, against that darkness, make the actual light itself be nice and bright. So here we kind of want to reflect this a bit along the middle. So we start going into the purpley blues, keeping that strip across there. That's our water. I don't want any colour in there yet. I will eventually. The only one thing I'll do right now to this building is I just want to join these up a bit so we don't end up with a hard edge. That's all. Cool. Doesn't matter, we'll paint over that, but I just didn't want that hard edge across there. So that's all fine. Cool. Then start getting into that lighter stuff. Pinkies. It's all very colourful. This is that opportunity to get colours in there. And then we'll add tone and the atmosphere afterwards. So it'll still end up rolling off. Nice and moody. We still don't want a bloody Crayola caddy vomit picture. Still don't want any of that rubbish. There we go. Whoa. Cool. Yep, happy with that. It's good. Okay. So at this point, and there's zero chance in hell I'm going to go through and put all these paving stones and weird patterns and stuff on the ground. Ain't ever going to happen. But what I will do at the moment is just if I've got a bit of dark stuff in the palette, which I do there, it's watery. While all this is wet, may as well just start bringing some of those soft reflections down. They'll fade off to bugger all because it's also wet, but it just starts the process for us. And you could even extend that to here if you wanted. The lights, the figures. Whatever. Cool. Cool. It's dry time. We'll just let it sit for a second. Okay. What's that doing there? That's cool. All right, just gonna get the old hairdryer out. Might be a second. Just really careful. If I like the smoothness of everything going on here, I like how it's all nice and smooth, nice and graded. I don't really want to mess with that. This bead could be the enemy for a second if you're getting the hairdryer out. So just sort of treat it with a bit of respect. Try and sort of run it off. I mean, not that I care about cauliflowers and stuff, obviously, but I just didn't want to upset that smoothness of that wash. I didn't want to blast it into that section there. So just gently from a distance, got the hairdryer happening. See how that bead's moving a bit? Careful. I'm about a foot away from it. Once it settles in and absorbs into the paper, you can go nuts. If you didn't hear that, I'm about a foot away from it. Once the bead starts absorbing into the paper, just go crazy. That's fine. Nice. Cool. Happy with that wash. I think it's really nice. Happy with it. Grey. Okay. All right, so I got a phone call. They'll leave a message if it's important. Need to make it a bit darker than that. I've just mixed up a grey. Just need to make it a bit darker. I'm happy with the colour. So here's where your neutral tint comes in handy. This is what it's sort of meant to be for. When you're happy with the colour, you just want to tone it down. And just darken it up. Yeah, that's better. Just add a bit of neutral in and away you go. I'm really mindful of not going over the water surface here. This white might even end up staying white. But I don't sort of care about what I'm painting object-wise in the background. It's just a bit of tone. I'll end up sort of sponging a bit of it out in a second anyway. It's just buildings and whatever. We'll get some more definite rooftops and things over here. A dome or something. Whatever. So we're always kind of working background to foreground. That's the general way to do things. There are exceptions to rules, obviously. I think we've been through some of them sometimes. Yeah, just with a clean tissue, just gonna dab out a bit here and there just to give us a bit more softness and variety. It's cool. Alright, might be a sec. Shit. Okay. No. Okay. Alright, so it's all good. Happy with that. There's no putting it off. We've got to start on the main attraction. Building. Now, undercoat. Think undercoat for a second. I'm going to work from the top down because down here is going to get a bit darker, it'll be a bit lighter up here. Tone-wise, it's already orangey underneath, which is cool. Sort of make it a bit redder, I think. A bit redder, burnt sienna. I want to go over the window, that's fine. Just be careful. Careful-ish. Don't want it too static, but you don't want to stuff it up as well. That's just an undercoat there. That's fine. A little bit of grey here as well. Just going to go over that with a bit of grey. So we'll start putting some different tones in there soon. Just that grey. Nice. Keep going with that sort of grey. A bit darker down here. As long as you're painting pretty lightly at the moment, you'll be okay. It's a bit stronger as we get down into this bit. Careful, grasshopper. See, I'm holding it like a pencil, which I don't like doing, but you kind of can't help doing that with these sort of things sometimes. We try to avoid that at all costs usually, but things like this that are a bit more intricate and important, we get nice clean strokes. Just do what you gotta do. Okay. Happy with that, happy with that, happy with that. Okay, cool, cool, cool. That is getting there. Now just going back up the top here. I know it's not a crisscross pattern. Yeah, you can't even really see it, but I just want a bit of texture under there. That's fine. Okay, now kind of got to work while it's still wet here. So back into the grey, just making it a bit darker. Just want to add some volume to these shapes. Okay. Now, while it's all still wet, I'm just going to put these dark background arches in as well. Still be mindful of your brushwork. Don't bog down too much. And if there's an opportunity just to, you know, leave something go for a second, just leave it. Just still paint with a bit of flair. Like that. Come up about there, actually. Okay, that's all right. See, my initial thought there was a bit off, but that's okay. Yeah, cool. And just work the edges there. Now there's something about here. little fiddly, farty bits that just give us a bit of stuff to play with. Now, this dark, not a fan of that, looks too... Bit of water. Splash. Break it up a bit, that's good. So, it's all wet there, that's good. Get these holes in. And start doing, yeah, let's go grey again. Still just sort of working this to find the edges, and then I'll put the darks in at the back, which will bring it to life a bit then. Yeah, that kind of vibe is cool. Happy there. Yeah, I need to put this dark in. Pretty important. So this is sort of the focal point, I suppose, of this picture. So we want to take a little bit of time with it. And don't stuff around too much. But you want to make sure it's pretty right. Okay, and then that comes down. And here we go. Pushka. Okay, look at that. Good stuff. Happy there. Just got to make sure there's enough of that. Enough detail, but not too much, you know? I think it's okay. Squint your eyes. Splash some water. Let it move around. Good. Cool. Then we can put this arch window in while we're there. Oh God. No, that's got to be straight. Hear the noise I put up with all day? Oops, I don't know what happened there. That's okay. I don't mind this is all soft and nice there. That's cool. Nice. All right, I'm going to leave the building for a second. Well, for a bit, so it dries off. The only thing I'll do is darken it up at the base here a little. Cool. Alright, that gives us the nice impression of what's going on. There's one thing I'm missing up here. We need that to go down that way. That's really important actually, that line going the other way from that little railing. Okay, cool. Let's get these figures in, eh? They're obviously just silhouettes. Mix of dark. Burnt sienna and blue. He doesn't know which way he's going. He's got 3 legs. Sorry, mate. We'll put a couple of people there. I didn't expect them to be like that, but that's okay. And along here, along this wharfy bit, just add little dry brush marks that indicate some activity. That's all we're after. We don't want to have any detail here at all. Any detail we put here will just detract from what it is we're trying to achieve. You know, so those little brush marks there give that impression of something going on. And there's a bloke here bending down, doing some work. Whatever. There's heaps of different things. Use this colour I mixed up at the end of the last one. Let's just go boonk. Bit of colour. Bit of orange. Raw sienna's not real opaque, but just little bits like that will bring it to life. See what's going on here? It's all soft, bleeding, everything's cool. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. It's lovely. Do a bit more of that up there. I want it to be a bit, because I'm going to go over that with a glaze once it's dry. Okay, how are we looking for time? Half an hour, 40 minutes. All right, we're rocking on. Good, good. So, it's not too much more to do, honestly. I'm going to dry it off and actually, wait yet. I'll get these lights in. where I was going to put something there. Really be careful when you're doing such small work. Still use a big brush so you don't have to keep going back in. There we go. That's all we're after with the lights. Okay, dry it off. I've changed my mind. I'm not going to put any colour in that water at all. It doesn't need it. It'll just detract from it, I think. But yeah, let's dry it off. Look at that. That's unreal. Love it. Got a big bead just sitting there. Yeah, happy with this. It's good. I like it. I like it. Alright, spotted something I just need to muck around with. Yeah, I need to make this area darker because it's just not reading properly. It's not reading properly against the sky that's coming through there. That's all. Don't want to do much to it. I suppose I could have left it because we're going to do shadows. Actually, I'll just do that. Why not? Okay. Let's let that cool down for a second. The water that I'm talking about, Dana, is the strip of white going across the middle. I think. Yes, definitely. Oh, just maybe doubt myself then. I was like, God, I'm sure it's water. Chances are in Venice it's water. Freaked me out. My lordy. Okay. So I'm going to start. I need to do the shadow on here first. I just need to. There's no sort of way around it. No way around it. I've got to. So I'm just going to do this a bit more, tiny bit more of a blast here. Okay, so soft brush and grey, essentially. Bluey grey. Yeah, that's about right. Don't scrub at it. Like so, always with the shadows, if you're glazing, don't scrub at it, because it will bite you on the ass. Everything underneath will start just looking shit. We can do a bit of dry brush after, that's fine. Oh, Henry, far out. Don't know if you can hear that through this mic, but freaking, it's got his whinge on. Just make that, yeah, that's better. Far out, dude. These kids have the best life, and all they do is whinge. It's usually food related. Okay, so some shadow. So we want nice soft shadows here on the ground. I'm just going to embellish something, some softness about there. Strong. Just doing big shadows here at the moment. The big shadow, the big shape, and then we'll get into the reflections that are actually coming down from the thing. So I love that softness. It's got to be soft. It just has to be around here. Your shadows and things all don't have to be the one colour either. I say it every time, but it's a good thing to remind yourself of. Sometimes is you can vary your colours and your temperatures. Alright, that's because there's a shadow and there are reflections. God, if I have to listen to the Lion King once more, my God. This reminds me of school. Reminds me of high school, singing "Can You Feel Love Tonight" at the talent show with some chick who apparently had the hots for me, but I had no idea. Cool. Happy with all that. That's good. When you're happy with something, leave it. Okay? Step away from it. It's not quite heavy enough here. I'm not going to touch these. But just in this bit, I want to go a bit stronger. Bit waterier. Right, cool. Now we're going to let that dry again. Just bring that back that way. All right, need everything to be dry now, and we'll start getting some more little bits on, and away we go. We're looking good. I'm going to put a little bit more detail in this dry brush wise, so needed to be dry. Right. Okay, so looking all right. Happy there. What I want to do, Henry, listen to this kid. God damn it. This may not work. I may end up sort of scrubbing it out a bit. In fact, I think I will. Yeah, no need for it. It's all right. Soften it up. Should be okay. highlights here and there. Because there's a lot of shadow here, I'm doing some dry brush but with a bit of opaque paint. Just a little bit of detail, like it's not, I mean, it's not detail like hit you over the head detail, but just gives a bit more of a sense of what's there, you know, without having to spell it out like an amateur. Still got to have imagination going on. You got to let, too often we don't let the viewers do any work. You have to. You have to. It's imperative. It's just a bit of jaune that I've sort of dirtied up with just a bit of grey that was in the palette, really. That's all it needs to be, not much more than that. Yeah, dry brush doesn't always have to be dark stuff. So that's already shadowed, so this just makes it a bit more interesting. All right, cool. Happy with that. Good. Okay. We need a bit of orange, a bit more jaune. So what I want here, I'm starting to kind of pull all the tiny little bits together. So if you haven't got jaune or whatever, just get a bit of white. Yellow ochre even will do it. It's pretty transparent, pretty opaque. Just get it straight out of the tube or something. But I just want an opaque orangey colour first. Warm colour. Apricot, dare I say. And just want to put little bits in here. And, you know, while you've got that colour there, is there anything else you can put on? Put here and there just to give the illusion of busy or whatever. Don't go too crazy with it, obviously. But if there's something you can do with it that'll look alright, do it. Oh, that's a bit crazy, but you know what? I'll leave it. So what we'll do at the end is go over it with some white. Whoop, here we go. So keep an eye on the old time. I've just sort of looked at this on the screen. I need to just do that. It's a bit garish. Just to, and dare I say, every now and then just a dot or whatever that pattern is. That'll do, that's better. All right, so fair bit of dry brush and directional line stuff on the ground. We've got dark colour mixing up here, rigger, fully loaded. I need to have a look. So if you have a look at the directional lines, we've got sort of a checkered pattern, crisscrossy thing. But so down that way, I reckon. It's amazing the difference that makes. And go from about there. Do this crisscross thing. And while I've got that little orangey thing sitting there, shit, what's that? That's okay. Do a couple of these other lines. Cool. Happy with that. It's a good way to get like an illusion of the illusion of the actual pavers without having to be stupid and paint all the pavers. That's just dumb. It's dumb and it won't look as good because it'll be fiddly and that. All right. Almost there. We're missing a few crucial ingredients. Not for long though. Okay. Those directional lines on the ground, it freaks me out every time. They make such a difference. Every time. It's great. Oh, I love it. Now, thick paint, it's Venice. There are birds everywhere. Have one silly one up there, why not? Gondoliers and whatnot. That's cool. Happy with that. Is there anything else? That's annoying now. This top part has been the only part that's annoyed me, but it's just because I've mucked around with it. It looked fine 20 minutes ago. Lesson in that for all of us, don't you think? There you go. That's better. Less defined. Always good when it's less defined. All right, white gouache. In these lights, we want a tiny bit. Little spots, so it just makes them come to life a bit. We want the top of the heads, shoulders of our little figures. Not heaps, keep it subtle. Try not to paint with it. Highlights is good. All right. We are almost done. Almost. Tiny bit of red straight from the tube. And it will go onto there and there. Couple of bits. That's fine. And a bit of turquoise. So I was going to make that water turquoise, just do a couple of dry brush turquoise marks, but it doesn't need it. I think it looks better when it's completely white like that. That's good. So I'm really happy with this. Happy with both of today's paintings, to be honest. Let me just get rid of that bit. Sorry about all the hair drying noise. I reckon that's all right. I like it. Oop. Don't rip the paper, you dickhead. Isn't it funny? That'd just be right. You'd do a painting you're happy with and rip it off the board, rip the paper. The lighthouse painting from the other night, I ended up pretty happy with mine. It's cool. A friend of mine from school who's actually bought some of my work, quite a bit of my work, really. She lives in Newcastle. When we go up there in September, she's just bought a new house and she's allowing us to stay there on our own as a family for free. And she said how much she liked that lighthouse painting, so she's going to get a nice present. Can't wait to give it to her. It's good. I think she'll like it. I hope she doesn't watch this because she is on here. I really like that. Ian, with that, it was those fine lines. That's for the lines on the ground. You mean the directional lines? Oopsie. That was, it's a rigger. It's a small rigger, but it's springy. It's synthetic. I'll show you. You can get these everywhere or anywhere. I'll just make myself bigger against my better judgment for a second. I'll see if it'll come up. It's just a Roy Mac Revolution, just synthetic rigger. And it's a number. Oh, is it shit? Number 2. So it's quite small, but it's springy and synthetic, so it gives you holds a lot of paint and gives you quite a bit of control as well. Love it. yeah, I really like this picture. I'm happy with how it's come out. Of course, now, okay. Excellent. Oh, cool. Now I deliberately had to skip through this for sure. I do apologise for that. It's yeah, just had these. Shed's got these appointments that we can't get away from at the moment. Won't be long though. That's all right. It's Venice, Kerry. There are an awful lot of birds, so we'll never get any dramas there. And you can't have too many birds, really. Um, it's always I just like the way they make things look. I like the floatiness that they. I think Joseph Zabukovich said, give it a floaty feel or something, and it's so true. It's the perfect way to put it. I think. Anyway, I really like it. But no, I'll once these dry off this afternoon, I'll post them up there because I really like them. I like the way they've turned out. I like the reflections and the shadow and all of that stuff. It's all nice. I like it. I like it. I want you guys to see the better the better version of it because it comes out a bit bright on the computer, but you get the idea. But no, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Sorry, it's been a bit rushed. Next week we'll be fine. Back to 10 o'clock. Um, And I mean, the other alternative too is we can do it later in the day. The reason I wanted a daytime one as opposed to, I mean, as well as a nighttime session is just so those people who have issues with lighting and stuff at night, just to give them an opportunity to paint along and do the workshop with us. But yeah, if you want to do it later in the day, it's cool. That's no problem. But yeah, 10 o'clock next week we'll do it. There you go. But I'm happy with the way it's all sort of planned out, or panned out rather. Couple of bits of business. Thank you very much for joining me. Firstly, please share everything. That'd be great. Anything, everywhere, as far and wide as you can. Places you wouldn't think to share. Obviously, you tag me on Instagram and everything is great. Love all that. Twitter if you use it. YouTube if you use it. Share, subscribe to the channel. Share it around. Go to my channel, share the videos on your Facebook, share share the channel itself on Facebook. So anything you can do to get us pushing up there is good. Really appreciate it. Podcast next week, Herman Pickle on Wednesday morning. That'll be great. And I'm talking to Brienne Brown next week for an interview as well, and all is looking good. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Any final questions or thoughts before I click end? Oh, good stuff, Kate. No worries. I appreciate it. A lot. That's the thing. I appreciate everyone's participation and support as much as you may appreciate what I'm doing. I do the same thing. It's a two-way street here, which is great. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you. Nearly at the 1,000 mark. I know. I need to get that 1,000. I need it. if only Facebook meant anything, like my Tony White watercolor page on Facebook, my business page, that's like 11,000 or something. It's stupid. But, you know, you put a post up and 20 people see it. Thank you. Vicky, send me your address and all that sort of stuff for this palette, and I'll get it up there for you. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you very soon, and stay tuned on the Facebook group, and I'll keep you posted with developments. Thank you.